Paltrow, when divorcing Chris Martin, lead singer of Coldplay, famously coined the phrase conscious uncoupling. Now, for many of us, with the best will in the world, conscious uncoupling is simply not possible. This may be for a variety of reasons, such as complicated finances or even risks to children. Like with any new venture or investment that gets to save you time, effort, you would need to go away and learn about it. My name is Amanda, and what I would like to do is build an e-learning platform specifically for women going through high conflict divorce situations, and this is what it could look like. On this e-learning platform, we have 6 different modules. In each module, we interview professionals in their field. In legal, we look to save you time and money and effort in this divorce process. In finance, we look at separating your finances from your spouse to make sure your will and insurance and so forth is set up properly. In psychologists, we get the lowdown from a psychologist on how to deal with particularly difficult situations such as addiction and mental illnesses. In wellness, we'll get to fitness, dating, mindfulness, and sex. With kids, we get teachers' input, psychologists' input, and we talk about parent plans and contact schedules. On top tips, we'll speak to men and women who've been through this process, also to professionals in the field who tell you where others made the mistakes that you could prevent by learning. For a taste of what's to come, let's hear from some of the industry experts. This is Nina Mensing, author of The Manic Marriage, and also a divorce coach and mediator.
In the high conflict cases, the person who is causing the high conflict, the very manipulative character, is incredibly good at triggering you, pressing your buttons, and going off on tangents. And so what do? You go down the tangent to defend yourself. It's totally different to what actually the process is meant to be. So don't allow yourself to be dragged down those tangents and become defensive because you get embroiled in the conflict, which is exactly what they wanted you to do. Just keep playing them back. Like I said, be that as it may, what we're talking about now is this.
Next up is David Vaughan. He's a financial planner, a life coach, and a passionate advocate for women standing on their own 2 feet.
It's amazing when you have courage. It's kind of like courage does breed more courage. And courage is not the absence of fear. It really is not.
It's
courage is
your
in
fear.
the face of it. In the face of feeling petrified and really scared, you do the thing. And that action is so powerful, and it compounds and it compounds. Budgets are quite frightening for most people. It sounds really simple, it sounds really silly, but it's very confronting and yet very powerful. So once again, get a friend if you have to, take them for coffee and cake and do a budget.
Of your family's expenses?
Seriously, I know that sounds ridiculous, but do one. And
Okay.
you then eventually have, it might be completely out, it might seem ridiculous, but there's some sense of reality that you're now starting to face. And that's actually how you move away from fear. That's how you move out of it.
Power and
You've got to be
knowledge.
courageous. You've got to take on what you might have been avoiding, even if it's unconscious avoiding.
On a recent trip to London, I was so fortunate to interview Dr. Mariette Jansen. She's so effervescent. She's known as Dr. De-Stress and specifically coaches women around high conflict divorces and helps them deal with anxiety.
Yeah, I would highly recommend to be very selective who you talk to, because if you talk to people, people are happy to give you feedback and give you advice, and people are not experts. They're not experts in your life. They're not experts on legal stuff. They're not experts in emotions, and they just throw all this stuff back at you. You've got a lot to digest anyway. More stuff on top of that you can do without that.
Yes.
So be really selective.
If a bully starts to talk, they usually talk as a critical parent. Now, in communication rules, you very often automatically will respond with the expected counter response, and that is that of a child. That is that of an accommodating child. So, oh yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. No, maybe we can do that. Or the rebellious child that says, no, I'm not gonna do that. But neither is very productive. So it's important to be an adult, and an adult takes responsibility for what they're saying and for what they want. So if someone says, hey, you should be doing that, critical parent, then you go into adult and you say, do I hear all right that this is what you want? or so you don't go into that argumentative, and you don't go into being that accommodating child or being that rebellious child. And always go back to that. That is just, it's a golden rule. It's a wonderful concept. If you get a hang of it, it will help you in all sorts of situations to avoid this really unhealthy, manipulative communication.
When I was in London, I interviewed Penny Waite. Penny is the author of a book called Surrender to Grace, which is about the loss through suicide of her beloved son. Penny does de-traumatization work with people through a process called tapping, and here she is talking to us about how to work through trauma.
Repeat certain statements.
Yeah.
So, for example, one of the things I'm going to use something not too personal, but I was saying, I was tapping, and you're saying, and my girls are going to be okay. They're smart and they're wise. And when I was saying that, I really felt like I was meaning it for the first time in a long time, because I carried guilt around having gone through a difficult time for them. But when I was saying it with you, it felt very different.
Well, that's because we're balancing the energy, we're shifting the energy. That's literally what EFT is doing.
Okay.
Balancing your energy out.
So I had a conversation with my friend Colette this morning, and she asked me a very specific question. She said to me, do you think that your girls are very angry with you? And I said to her, no. I know that they go through moments of anger, like any teenagers do, and they lash out. But intuitively, I don't believe that they're angry with me. And that was the first time I was able to say that and really mean it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's another thing about EFT, brings clarity.
Totally brings clarity.
When you've got all this emotion raging inside you, like guilt, jealousy, anger, whatever it might be, it clouds the mind, so it's very, very difficult to make clear decisions.
Yeah.
During the course of my divorce, I often felt powerless and hopeless, so I read a lot during my divorce. But if I had known what these professionals have taught me during the course of my interviews, I would have saved myself a ton of legal work, paperwork, money, and most of all, heartache for me and my children. Within this e-learning platform, we have an opportunity for sponsorship. You can have your logo at the end of interviews, and we're also looking for professionals to be involved in terms of providing content. Join me on the other side. I look forward to seeing you there.